Greetings. Welcome to the Morning Breadcast. Thanks for joining me again today. I am Mark Krishick, your host from Digging for End Time Truths, and we are going to continue in our study on the book of Revelation. We are doing a really brief overview. I have covered in the past chapters 1, 2, 3. We touched on chapter 4 yesterday. And remember, we are in the third division of the book, which is the things which shall be after these things, or after the church. Metatauta is what the Greek word says. And we noticed last time that there is a location in the book, which is chapter 4, verse 1, that indicates John is removed from the earth and brought up into heaven and into the throne room. I covered that last time. It's what some would call a controversial issue, but I kind of covered it last time briefly. If you're interested in that, you can go back and watch yesterday's program. What I wanted to do today is, now that we are in the throne room, which is probably my favorite part of the book, we walk into the throne room of God and we notice the characters that are there. We notice the scroll. It's a 7-sealed scroll that it is in the Father's hand, sitting. The Father is holding it, sitting on his throne, right? So what I wanted to do today is just cover briefly this scroll, what it is, and how it's to be opened, who can open it, and what the qualifications, obviously, for opening it are. So what I wanted to do, Chapter 4 mentions the throne room scene and who's there, but chapter 5, we get into the scroll. I wanted to pick it up on chapter 5 because we just don't have the time in these morning broadcasts to handle all the details. I will have a detailed study of the book of Revelation if you're interested on my website. But right now I wanted to just take some nuggets out of each part, each chapter. So we're going to go into chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 1, which says, "And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside and on the back, sealed with 7 seals." Now, there's a lot of examples of this scroll. There's a reference to one in the book of Ezekiel, but really what we're talking about is it's like a indictment, or it's a title deed, really, to the earth. And the reason for the seals on the front and the back are that all of the people that need to be present to open up this legal document, they need to be there. So what we see is the proper person to open the scroll has to be present, right? And there is a certain person that has to open the scroll. So we'll get into that. Verse 2 says, "Then I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, 'Who is worthy to open the scroll and to loose its seals?'" Okay, so obviously there's a certain person that can open the scroll, and it's only this person that can open the scroll, according to what's on it, right? So verse 3 says this, "No one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look at it." And this is John speaking in verse 4. "So I wept much." And really the original says he just wept profusely. Okay? It says, "I wept much because no one was found worthy to open and read the scroll or to look at it." Verse 5, "But one of the elders said to me, 'Do not weep. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has prevailed to open the scroll and to loose its 7 seals." So the elder tells John there is someone that can open the scroll. And we find out who it is here in verse 6. "And I looked, and behold, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 living creatures, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as though it had been slain, having 7 horns, 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, sent into all the earth." Verse 7, "Then he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him who sat on the throne." Okay, so we see the Lamb, who we know is the Lamb of God. Just like John the Baptist proclaimed when he saw Jesus walking, he said, "Behold, the Lamb of God who has taken away the sins of the world." So Jesus is this Lamb that shows up, that takes the scroll from the Father's hand. Okay? And this is a huge moment, obviously, because now we have someone who can open the scroll, who now is going to take ownership or title deed of the earth and is going to unseal this, and we are going to see what progression of events God has determined in order for this taking back of the possession of the earth is how it's going to go down, right? How each step is going to go down. Each seal is it begins the process of Jesus again sitting on the throne of David and being proclaimed king over all the earth, right? Okay. So we see that he takes the scroll in verse 7. Now he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him who sat on the throne. And notice what it says. Now when he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each having a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sang a new song. So just to note, this song that they sing identifies who the 24 elders are, right? It says, and they sang a song saying, you are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain, obviously identifies it as Jesus, and have redeemed us. So whoever's singing the song has been redeemed us to God by your blood out of every tribe and tongue and people and nation. That's pretty clear that there's only one group of people that have been redeemed by his blood to God, right? Out of every tribe, tongue, and nation. And it says, verse 10, and have made us kings and priests to our God, and we shall reign on the earth. So we are going to rule and reign with Jesus for 1,000 years. So it's pretty clear from this song that they sing and the evidence that we're given that this 24 elders represents the church that has been removed from the earth and is now in heaven, right? So what does that say to you and me? Well, I'm going to leave you with this takeaway for today. Prepare yourself for what's to come. Jesus said, don't store up things here on the earth, but store up things in heaven, because it's stated it is appointed man once to die and then the judgment. So once you're there, you don't better your position. Down here is where you get prepared, keep a watchful eye out for the Lord, and live for him. And that's what this book is all about. It's written to the church to prepare us for what's to come. So I encourage you, strengthen your relationship, read this book, and heed what it says. And we'll see you again next time on the Morning Breadcast.